Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at noon starts now.
Tensions are rising on the Korean Peninsula as Vice President Mike Pence declares that the era of strategic patience is over with North Korea. Plus, on the hunt, the state of Michigan is now part of a widening search for a Cleveland man who allegedly posted video on Facebook showing him murder a man at random.
I want the public to know that we are on it and that we intend to pursue this into its conclusion.
Where the manhunt stands at this hour. And breaking news developing now from Detroit's west side. 2 Detroit cops injured in a shooting overnight. And this afternoon, one officer is fighting for his life. I'm Evrod Cassimy. That story does top our news at noon. Thank you for joining us. You're looking at video now from the scene, a very active scene earlier this morning. Rod Maloney is tracking this story for us this afternoon now. Just caught up with Detroit Police Chief James Craig, who addressed the incident. What has he said?
Yeah, well, as you can see behind me here, the briefing is still ongoing here, Evrod. But essentially what the chief is saying here is that the 2 officers that were shot last night in an incident on the west side on LeSure.
Talk about the other incident, Steve.
Yeah, with Steve. Yeah. So anyway, the chief was asking us a question there. But basically on LeSure Avenue, there was a report of a break-in. And there had actually been 3 calls into the police department yesterday on Easter Sunday, and 2 officers showed up at about 11:45 last night. And a young man inside the building allegedly saw people on the stoop and apparently thought that they were burglars and shot through the window. So the 2 officers were hit. One was hit in the face, one was hit in the arm. Now the chief just told us just moments ago that one of the officers who had been hit in the arm with had some kind of shrapnel, maybe glass or something, making a couple of cuts. He was released from the hospital this morning. There is one other officer, a 2-year veteran of the force now, who is in surgery as we speak. He's, they say, going to be okay, but he has a couple of shotgun pellets in his face. He bled rather profusely last night there with the EMT team trying to make sure that he was okay. Was sedated most of the night, and now he's in surgery where they're trying to get at least one of those pellets out. Now the chief talked a little bit about all of this, and he had some updates and some things to say about what brought this on, and let's hear from the chief now.
So I can't tell you definitively that they said police, but they were fully dressed in a uniform at the time.
And that's the chief talking about the interaction between this 19-year-old boy and the police officers. We're told that the boy was quite concerned because there had been a break-in about 3 days ago at the house, and that there had been some shining lights at that time, and he may have mistook the police for a burglar. The question of whether they actually announced themselves as police officers remains up in the air, but normally they would come in and either knock on the door, ring the doorbell, and then if somebody asked, they would announce themselves. At least that's what I've been told by DPD. So a lot of things to sort out here, a lot of questions, and we're certainly going to be on that case, and we'll have more stories coming up on Local 4 News at 4, 5, and 6 p.m. Reporting live on the west side, Rod Maloney, Local 4.
All righty, Rod, thank you for the update. We're still hoping for full recovery from that other officer. The state of Michigan now part of a widening search for a Cleveland man who allegedly posted video on Facebook showing him murder a man at random. The manhunt for 37-year-old Steve Stevens started on Sunday when he allegedly posted video on Facebook showing him shoot and kill a 74-year-old man on a Cleveland street. Stevens has claimed that he killed other people, but no other victims have been confirmed just yet. This morning, police say that they did make contact with him on the phone.
Early in this investigation, we did have contact with him, direct contact with our detectives. They tried to, of course, convince him to turn himself in, and of course that hasn't happened to date. So again, we're asking the public's help in finding this guy. We know he's out there someplace. We talked to him via cell phone.
Now, police say Steve Stevens does not have a criminal history. Stevens' mother says that her son told her that he would shoot people because he was angry with the girl that you see here in the photo, which was his girlfriend at the time. Her arrest is making international headlines, and now a doctor accused of performing female genital mutilation at a medical office in Livonia heads to court. In a little less than an hour, the court will determine whether to detain Jumana Nagarwala without bail. Nagarwala is an emergency room doctor at Henry Ford in Detroit, but allegedly performed the procedures out of a facility not associated with the hospital. The case involves two girls from Minnesota, just 7 years old, but the feds say Nagarwala might have also done the procedure on children here in Michigan. Vice President Mike Pence, who is currently in South Korea, has declared that the era of strategic patience is over with North Korea. Janice Mackey-Freyer explains how he expressed impatience with the speed and willingness of the regime to move toward ridding itself of nuclear weapons and ballistic missiles. Supreme Court.
On his second day in South Korea, Vice President Mike Pence warning North Korea that the era of strategic patience is over.
All options are on the table. Just in the past 2 weeks, the world witnessed the strength and resolve of our new president in actions taken in Syria and Afghanistan. North Korea would do well not to test his resolve.
During a surprise visit to the demilitarized zone dividing the two Koreas, the vice president could look directly at North Korea, North Korean soldiers staring back. While the trip to South Korea was planned long ago, it took on added significance over the weekend, following a failed missile test by the rogue nation.
We want to see North Korea abandon its reckless path of the development of nuclear weapons and also its continual use and testing of ballistic missiles is unacceptable.
With tensions escalating, the American position hardening, and a naval strike group heading toward the peninsula, pressure is mounting.
The vice president has given U.S. security assurances to South Korea, saying the U.S. commitment is ironclad. He wants to push ahead with deployment of an anti-missile defense system known as THAAD. That's controversial here, but nonetheless seen as necessary to counter the threat. Now back to you.
Supreme Court Justice Neil Gorsuch will hear his first cases today. Gorsuch was nominated by President Trump to fill the seat of the late Antonin Scalia in January. He was confirmed by the Senate on April 7th, and today Gorsuch is expected to hear his first 3 cases involving employment and property disputes and the timing of class action lawsuits. Then on Wednesday, he's expected to hear one of the court's biggest cases this year, in which a Missouri church's lawsuit tests the limits of religious rights. More than 100 Macomb Sheriff's deputies are going to be sporting body cameras for the first time today. The Macomb County Sheriff's Office says that they believe they'll be the first department in the Macomb County area to use the cams while on patrol. In total, between 110 and 120 cameras are going to be hitting the streets today, while another 80 or so are going to be kept in storage. The Macomb County Sheriff's Department hopes that this will push other departments to do the same, with both New Baltimore and Roseville already considering the move. Well, if you got a chance to step outside today, we saw some pretty nice weather after a nice weather weekend. So big question is, what is on tap for today, Brandon?
Pretty good looking day. We have 1 or 2 little humps that we need to get over as far as, I guess, stumble blocks, but doesn't look too bad. I want to show you here one thing to notice. The wind in Port Huron out of the north-northeast coming off of Lake Huron having a huge impact on temperatures. Just 46 degrees in Port Huron, while Metro Detroit at 65 has more of a westerly breeze. So the wind making all the difference in the world. Our north zone right close to Lake Huron will be the cooler area through the afternoon hours, but most of the rest of us climbing into the upper 60s to near 70 degrees between now and 4 o'clock with a good deal of sunshine out there. We are tracking a little bit of wet weather. We mentioned a couple of stumbling blocks, and you see some of this rain that's coming out of Wisconsin and heading over towards Saginaw Bay, and it is increasing. Some cloud cover up in the Thumb region as well will give us a chance for a couple of showers, mainly after 4 p.m. even here in Metro Detroit, but a lot of the action will be along and north of M59. Again, a late afternoon, early evening spit and drizzle kind of a thing, so don't cancel your plans. We've got you covered in the 4-zone weather. It is our 4-zone weather on the weather tab of clickondetroit.com. You can find your zone, find your 7-day.
Thank you, Brandon. Still to come here at noon. New answers in what led up to the death of the late music icon Prince. We'll tell you what investigators found inside of Prince's home. Plus, rising concerns. We are using more plastic than ever these days. But researchers are saying that it's doing something to our oceans. We'll tell you what that is. And of course, we do continue to follow breaking news from Detroit's West Side, where 2 police officers were shot while responding to a burglary call. We just heard from Detroit Police Chief James Craig, who let us know that one of the officers has since been released from the hospital. The other one, who was shot in the face, is still in critical condition. We're going to keep you updated throughout the day and on the air here on Local 4 and clickondetroit.com. Welcome back, everyone. The execution of 8 inmates in Arkansas has been put on hold by a federal judge. The state of Arkansas had originally planned to execute 8 men over 10 days starting on Monday. They stressed a sense of urgency because one of the drugs used in lethal injections is set to expire. But on Saturday, a federal judge halted those executions, and now the inmates are appealing to a federal court that killing 8 people in 10 days violates an evolving standard of decency. There's no word on when a decision will be made. And this afternoon, we are learning more about what led up to the death of the late music icon and singer Prince. According to a search warrant, investigators found several opioid painkillers in Prince's home the day he was found dead. Investigators also say they were told Prince had a history of going through withdrawals related to the abuse of medication. A medical examiner said an accidental overdose was the cause of death. Prince was 57 years old. Our world is using more plastic than ever, and that might mean bad news for our oceans. CNN Money reports nearly a third of all plastic packaging is not recycled. That problem has become even more apparent in the past 50 years as the use of plastic has increased 20-fold. The World Economic Forum projects if we keep at our current pace, there will be more plastic than fish in the oceans by the year 2050. And they say the way to avoid this is to simply recycle. Buyers who have been waiting for delivery of their Fiat Chrysler Pacifica hybrid minivans will soon be able to take possession of those minivans. The company has started shipping Pacificas from its Windsor, Ontario assembly plants to dealers nationwide. The hybrid version, which was showed off at January's North American International Auto Show, was due for delivery in the first quarter. Fiat Chrysler's concern for quality might have delayed that delivery date, so now you will be able to get your van. All right, so to come here at noon, breaking boundaries, a new way of growing food without using dirt. How is this possible? We've got the answer for you coming up next. Brandon, sounds interesting, right?
Very interesting. Just say food, I'm in. 65 degrees in Detroit, 39 in Alpena. We've got a cold front, and we'll talk about its impact on temperatures and maybe a little Monday rain. But we're also looking ahead to a wet midweek or 7 days next.
I think people just don't realize like how big of an impact it has on your life.
Local kids speaking out.
Bullying, I guess, just comes along with it.
Life with food allergies.
It is life-threatening.
School bullying. What needs to change? Tonight at 11. Only at...
All right, welcome back, everybody. Hopefully you got a chance to get outside over the weekend. We did get the rain that you talked about on Saturday. But Sunday was beautiful, and today not so bad.
Yeah, we've been timing out the rain perfectly for you. It was early Saturday, early Sunday that some folks saw the rain. And later today, a chance for a little bit of spit and drizzle in parts of the area, but no big deal. 65 degrees out there, a little west-northwest wind at 10 miles an hour. And again, up in the Thumb region, still have those northeast winds coming off of Lake Huron. So Lexington, Port Huron, Bad Axe, all feeling a little bit cooler today in the 40s, quite a bit different. Here is that satellite radar, actually 4Live radar picture. We have lightning tracker on, not seeing any of that, but these little streams of rain coming off of Lake Michigan and out of Wisconsin holding together with just a little bit of light rain. And watch the computer model here as we go through the afternoon hours and even into the evening hours. Keeps a few showers even closer to downtown Detroit, but I do believe the lion's share of the light showers will be up north. We just need to be ready around 6 p.m. for a couple of very light showers. No big deal. So again, don't cancel any of your evening baseball, softball, soccer, whatever you have going on. Should be fine, even with just a quick little light shower. 69 degrees today. It is mostly sunny for most of the afternoon, but those early evening showers are a possibility. Overnight, we're dry, down to 42 degrees, which means some cooler 30s out in some of our suburbs. Don't have a whole lot, again, going on, but once you go north, you start to see these little streamers coming out of Wisconsin. Earlier today, streaming all the way back through Minnesota. And here's this little cool front, and the showers are riding right along that. This is not going to sweep through with any violence or any crazy change in temperatures, but these showers will ride right along that cold front as it just slowly moves almost from the northwest to southeast very, very slowly. And tomorrow will be a very similar day to today. Another computer model look at the afternoon does show some of the activity in the area. Again, a lot of this along and north of M59. Good to go tomorrow, but on Wednesday we'll have a couple of showers coming in the morning and then maybe again in the afternoon. Still not an all-day soaker, so we have a good chance of hitting 70 degrees again tomorrow and Wednesday, with wet weather chances on Wednesday being early and then again through the afternoon. A little bit more widespread with rain on Thursday, so it could be a little bit heavier, and Evrod certainly will be cooler with that system, bringing slightly cooler air in toward the end of the week.
All righty, Brandon, thank you. There is a woman in California who is working to draw attention to a special type of gardening that doesn't even involve soil. Her business is in Bakersfield, California, and involves what's called aquaponics. Pretty interesting, right? So here's what happens. Plants grow in a temperature-controlled greenhouse. The process can use 95% less water than regular agriculture, and it grows plants 3 times faster, believe it or not. The process that supports the plants involves soil, water, sunlight, air, and fish. Yeah, that's right, I said fish.
The fish actually provide the food for the plants, and the plants actually clean and filter the water that returns back to the fish.
Okay, that sounds interesting, right? I don't know how she came up with this idea or why she found something wrong with dirt, but planters can be positioned so that growers don't have to bend over to care for and harvest the plants. The system also allows for growing thousands of small plants in a small space. So might be something that you want to try. All right, still to come. Stopping stains and losing the straws. There's this new invention that stops coffee from staining your teeth. We're going to show you how it works coming up. Replay song. All right, so finally here at noon, you have got to see what a couple of brothers invented to stop coffee from staining your teeth.
A big concern for a lot of people. It's called clear coffee, and it's exactly what it sounds like. 2 British brothers came up with what they say is the first colorless coffee ever.
It sounds really interesting. It's made from Arabica coffee beans and pure water, and apparently tastes just as good as normal coffee. Unfortunately, it's only available in the UK.
I'm in.
All right. Have a great day, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow.